Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back. It is Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I am Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, each and every week, if you haven't yet, please go like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media. And make sure, whatever you're watching or listening to us on, to hit that subscribe button and rate us 5 stars. So, Indeed. Thank you, guys. Chad, how have you been, man?
I've been pretty good, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
doing all right.
That's great.
Yeah. So last weekend we went to Don's and we watched the Chiefs game on Saturday. It was a damn good time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys won.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It got pretty rowdy because we've been through a lot of low points throughout the season, so it was pretty cool. There was a really good setup. Like, people really, like, you went to Don's for a playoff game a long time ago. It was just as bad, dude. It was super crowded. There was a good spread where someone had, like, made a stadium of cookies, and then as the scoreboard put their phone up, and on their phone they were replaying the Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pretty clever. It was cool.
That is pretty cool. I did see that little stadium. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Someone put
that was
some
a good
time
idea.
into that.
And Don's ordered like 300 wings from B-Dubs, so
Nice.
Feasted on some wings Friday night and Saturday.
Dude,
so.
you got a double dose of wings?
I love buffalo wings, man.
You're nuts. I do love them too. Although the last few times I've gone to Buffalo Wild Wings have not been happy.
See, that's what's crazy is, like, we went Friday night to State House over here, and then I asked for mango habanero. Mango habanero is the shit, dude.
It is.
You remember Fire on the Mountains mango habanero? They had raspberry habanero. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, when you get that fruity and then the spicy mix, it's so good. But at State House, like, you don't taste anything. It was just regular buffalo. I was like, what the hell? This doesn't taste any different. Then I had those at Don's, and I'm like, damn, this is mango habanero. My fucking mouth was sizzling,
Buffalo
dude.
Wild Wings mango habanero. I do love the flavor, but, like,
They're
once
hot.
you get, like, 3-4 wings in, you're like, oh, I'm hurting right now.
That's all it took. I had 3. Yeah, that's good. You'll have to try State House one of these
I'm
days.
suffering.
We'll have to go some of these times. They have really good buffalo wings.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. But other than that, we just chilled Sunday and watched a lot of football and everything. What about you?
Saturday we went and ate with my parents at Prost Brewery. It's up in Thornton.
Oh, is there another one? There's one right across the stadium, I thought, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like in the Highlands, I think is where it's at.
Yeah, this one I guess is it's newer. It's right up off 104th and I-25.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we got some like sausages and
Some German food.
yeah. I
Fuck
got
yeah.
schnitzel. I had a little schnitzel.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
it
dark
was-
beer?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't have a beer dry.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you, man.
So it is what it is.
What's your dad think of that?
It's whatever.
That's cool, man. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Mad respect.
Word. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then Saturday we also recorded we started recording a little bit of a demo or getting demos ready to go record our album. So we were doing that over at Andrew's house. So that was pretty
Nice.
cool.
Is that reel that I saw? Was that where
no,
that was at?
that was weird. That's our practice.
Okay, I
space
thought so.
downtown.
Yeah. Cool.
So that was pretty cool. And
Hell yeah,
then, Sunday, what happened Sunday? I don't think too much. Oh yeah, I took Meryl to the market, and then I just went home and watched the Nuggets and some football, and then we ended up going over to one of the Magic Maker Market people's houses for little surprise birthday party action.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so and that brings us up to now because we see each other at work. So
Yeah, that's
really
true.
we just talk about the time when we don't see each other.
Yeah.
So.
I keep it all.
Oh, and we got to mention you are now in the championship.
Yeah.
DraftKings.
I didn't want to jinx anything, but since
well,
you did it.
well, it was me at least. So
Yeah. My uncle got me in that DraftKings Fantasy League where it's like 32 teams. You each play, you take on that team, like the Eagles, and I'm the Commanders, and yeah, you go throughout the whole season. That's why it's like still playing fantasy this time of year because I'm picking the lineups for these playoff games. There's only 4 games this weekend, so
yeah. So I do
Slim
wonder how
pickings.
that's gonna work because it's like you guys are gonna end up drafting probably a lot of the same guys.
yeah, that's how it works. That last week he had like 4 of the same players, I think it was.
Yeah.
So got real lucky on that factor. But
Well, good luck to you, sir.
thank you, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. But it is episode 68. Yes.
Yeah.
And it is Tuesday, January 16th is the day before my birthday. I thought I'd throw that out there.
I was going to
the big
Yep.
37 tomorrow. 37
That's a
years
big one, man.
of age.
37. You're halfway there.
Pretty much almost 40 now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I'll be there soon, the way the years are going. So, episode 68. As always, we are doing a little bit of a dedication each episode to the best athlete to wear that episode's corresponding number.
Yep.
And this week, it is JAROMIR JAGR.
No question on this one, man.
Yeah, he is one of the best. Still playing hockey amazingly, but he played for the Penguins, the Capitals, the Rangers, the Flyers, the Stars, the Bruins, the New Jersey Devils, the Panthers, and the Calgary Flames. He was the captain of the Penguins and the Rangers between 1990 and 2008. After leaving the Rangers in 2008, he played 3 seasons in the KHL, and then he came back to the NHL in 2011 with the Flyers and remained in the league for 7 more years. Before being assigned by the Flames in 2018 to HC Kladno. He's played 36 professional seasons, over 2,000 professional games. He's had the longest playing career in professional ice hockey history. He's the most productive European player who's ever played in the NHL and is widely regarded as one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people put him up there as maybe second or third. You got Bobby Orr, Gretzky, and then Jagr. He's second most in points in NHL history. At age 45, he was the oldest player in the NHL. He's almost like you could call him the Cal Ripken of hockey.
Basically, yeah. Which is pretty wild. And he did win, I believe he won the Stanley Cup. What was it, with the Penguins?
Did he?
I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I made that up. Let me see here. Hold on. There's so much to get through in his life.
Yeah, he's got some hard words to pronounce too, being from Czech Republic.
Yeah, that'll throw you for a loop.
Started skating at age 3. God damn.
Oh, yeah, they won back-to-back Stanley Cups in 91 and 92 on the Penguins. So.
Oh, cool.
And he was one of the youngest players at the time in NHL history at age 20 to score a goal in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Would you say that was 91 and 92?
91 and 92.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was with Lemieux, who we just talked about a few episodes ago.
Yeah, was it 2 episodes ago?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, we're getting up there, man. 68,
Yeah.
it's like we're just getting kind of close to 100.
We're getting there, dude.
Not too far away. 30 more weeks, but right around the corner.
It's still a ways, but we'll be there sooner than we think.
We'll have some balloons for that one.
Yeah, we'll shoot off those crazy popper confetti cannon things.
I was gonna say Roman candles, but that works too.
That's cool.
Hell yeah!
I watched a video this week of some idiot kid inside of a car holding like a handful of Roman candles, and he lights them all on where the fuse is, which is where the things shoot out.
Oh no!
And he's holding them with the fuses down out of the sunroof. And then they're like, no, you got to hold them out. You got to hold them out. So then he just holds it higher. And then they just start shooting into the car.
Holy shit. Did the car catch on fire?
I don't know. They didn't show the rest of it, but
you never see if they live or not.
Yeah, that's always you're like, did he live or die?
It's like, probably died.
On Twitter, I usually will go down the rabbit hole of like checking the comments to usually see if there's like someone who's like, oh my God, this guy did actually die. Or, he's like, he lived.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did, but he did. Yeah. It's
sometimes you never know.
Kills the cat and my free time. That's
what we do in this winter time right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna scroll the phone.
Yep.
It is time though to get into headlines.
Let's do it.
Headlines! Get your headlines here!
That's right. We're doing things a little bit differently this week since it's just the wild card round and we only have the playoffs to worry about. We're going to just touch on the injuries of the players that are continuing on. So we'll touch on those when we run down basically like a deep dive of each game this week for the second half of the show. But we are still getting into the NFL to start out headlines, and we're going to hear a little bit of this one.
Down. Yeah, he got hit with a left hook by his own guy. He was looking at his ear hole for a minute. This isn't a good sign.
Okay? That might hurt already. Your partner knocked your head off.
Partner near knocked your head off. So in the NFL this week, there was some news, and some just happened actually after the game last night as Jason Kelce retires.
Yeah, kind of a
from the
sad one
NFL.
here.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
Yeah, very good dude. 6th-round pick by the Eagles in 2011. Played his entire career in Philly.
13 seasons.
Super Bowl champ. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, only the 5th center in history with at least 6 All-Pro selections behind Jim Otto, Bulldog Turner. Great football name, Bulldog Turner.
That's incredible. We need more names like that now.
Dermontti Dawson and Jim Ringo, all of which are enshrined in the Hall of Fame. I did see, I think he has the 3rd best pass blocking rating by a center in the NFL and the 1st overall run blocking rating.
Oh, wow. Damn.
So,
I mean, I could totally believe it.
I also thought I saw something that he didn't miss a game.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm not sure how long the streak was, but I mean, I know it went on for a while. Because I know it was like last year, I think it was, where they had already clinched up the 1 seed, and he went in there for his 1 snap. And then came out.
He last missed a game in 2014 as a result of a sports hernia.
Yeah.
He played in 157 consecutive games following his return from that.
Yep.
So he hasn't missed a game since. That's crazy, man, especially at center, especially now with the last couple of years doing the tush push to stay healthy with. And there was somebody that was asking him, like, what he hates most, and he said it was the tush push, and they asked him, like, what does he hate about it? And he's like, just every time I snap the ball, I basically yell "fuck my life," and then just gets piled on by everybody.
Totally piled on, man. Yeah, I'm really happy for him to retire. If nobody's watched it, they should watch Kelce on Prime. I know you're not that much of a Travis Kelce fan, but obviously it focuses on Jason, and it gives such an in-depth look into just a offensive lineman's life as an NFL player, because they go through so much, they take so much beating, and you hear his wife just say, like, I'm ready for him to retire, when he can, like, still play on the ground with the kids and stuff like that. And like that just like really,
yeah, you're not just like a cripple.
Yeah, it pulls on your heartstrings and stuff like that, because you see how he pours himself out there on the field. And then also you see in this documentary where like his wife still had to pay for their fucking Super Bowl tickets for their family and their kids.
Oh, for their
and
kid,
it's like,
yeah.
the ratings are jumping up because of the Kelce Bowl, and you're still making the family pay for tickets. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they got to make money on that, you know.
Yeah. But mad respect to him, man. He's a good dude. I love listening to his podcast. So I think I have a hunch, because he's already got a partnership with Prime and stuff like that, then maybe Al Michaels will move on, or Herb Street, either one of those guys, and then he'll take over for the Thursday night role.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I could definitely see him doing either that or like a pre or post game show or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely going to move on, and their podcast alone is probably making them pretty decent money.
Number
right
one on
now,
Apple.
So
yeah, just above us.
Yeah, we're just right there behind. It's them, Club Shay Shay, the Fringe Fanatic Sports Podcast.
We need to get Cat Williams on. That's what we need to do, man.
Yeah, get Cat Williams.
Call him up.
Everything is fixed.
Tell everything, Cat.
Yeah, you will blow up.
Yep.
So you want to take us to the next one, Mr. Chad?
Yeah, the Saints fired their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Mr. Pete Carmichael Jr.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man, I saw firsthand where I had Kamara in a couple leagues this year, and this guy really deserves to get fired, because they were able to move that ball sometimes this year, but man, they would stumble and fall short of I don't know what the red zone percentage ended up being or where they ranked in the league, but it had to have fallen like 25th or below.
Yeah, and then they also fire a senior offensive assistant, Bob Nickel, and receivers coach Cody Burns. So the offensive guys are definitely getting scapegoated with Dennis Allen this year.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's going to keep his job. So
yeah,
somebody's got to go, unfortunately.
Sounds like throwing him out in front of the bus is what he's
or
doing.
just right under it, however you want to look at it. In front, under, either way, they're getting killed.
Yeah. Speaking of getting killed,
where are we going?
Bill Belichick
interviewed
with the Falcons. Excuse me. Let me get that straight. Bill Belichick interviewed the Falcons for
Yeah,
that
that's
job.
basically
That's probably what happened.
He's going in there and he's showing them all of his rings and the Super Bowl trophies, and he's like, "What are you gonna give me?
Yeah.
What
do I need to answer?
What can I get?
Any questions?"
Yeah.
I saw this really funny meme that was like, a typical question you get asked, like in any interview, and it just shows him sitting there like drinking and just chilling, and they ask him, "So, can you give us a specific time when you were counted out against the odds and then you were able to like come back and surprise everybody?" Speaking of like the 28-3 game, it's just like, I probably like butcher, but it went somewhere like that. And it's just like, damn, like there's nothing he could say that it would be like, okay, you wouldn't be fit for the job. Who knows?
Yeah. And did you see where the Pats were going to let his kids stay and coach?
I saw where apparently because Jared Mayo's like really good friends with Steve.
Yeah,
he played.
Speaking of which, that's the other news. Gerard Mayo now is the head coach of the Patriots.
Yep. But yeah, I think he's going to keep on Steve Belichick and that mullet.
He's got a badass mullet. It's a power mullet. Yep. It's a power mullet.
I wonder how many times Bill's told him, just fucking cut that goddamn. No, Dad.
I love my mullet, Dad.
I need to be different than you.
Also, Mr. Jim Harbaugh interviews with the Chargers.
I don't like these news.
Yeah.
But you don't either.
No, it's not going to be very fun if he does come to the Chargers, which did seem to be one of the more likely candidates to hire him. I also think they're probably going to interview Bill Belichick as well. And we all are still waiting to see what happens with Philly. I could see that being a very enticing job if Sirianni does get fired after one of the biggest collapses in probably NFL history.
You mean for Jim Harbaugh?
Or either of them.
Yeah, I could see that.
Philly the only thing it does
that's
suck,
like a...
Kelsey's going to retire. There's also speculation Lane Johnson's going to retire.
Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox.
So that whole offensive line.
That was their last dance. Yeah. That was their last dance. There's no doubt about it. They showed it right towards the end of that game, and last night I was like, God damn, this is kind of sad.
Yeah, Kelsey's crying and stuff.
And they lost their 6 out of their last 7 games.
Yeah.
Just crazy, dude. Such a downfall.
Went from odds-on favorites to win the Super Bowl with the odds-on favorite to win MVP to bounce in the first round.
Yep. And pretty much blown out.
They were what were they?
At the beginning of the season?
No, they were the 5th seed. They went from the 1 seed to the 5th seed.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
It's just sad, dude.
What a terrible downfall.
A lot of people can criticize that, Sirianni got him the Super Bowl a couple years ago. But, my argument to that is like, what they were bringing up last night is they blitzed Jalen Hurts like nonstop. They had 11 free rushers come throughout the whole night. I mean, that's how many guys they got through untouched. And instead of trying, like what most coaches do, all right, let's get in. Let's do 12 personnel. We need someone in here to chip. Like, we're getting pummeled. No. Sirianni's stubborn, and then you just see the result where Dallas Goedert just cusses out Jalen Hurts on the sideline.
Yeah. No, dude, I told everybody he was telling them that we go live at 6 p.m. every Tuesday night.
And we are. We're live.
We are live. And if you notice, we are reacting to things off of the screen or off camera. We are watching the Nuggets take on the 76ers.
We got a busy night tonight.
Yeah, we got the Nuggets playing right now. We got the Avs playing right now. Tied
2-2. Yep.
And then Nugs are up 55-53. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a pretty close game. And then for me, I got the Jayhawks playing at 7.
57-53 Nugs.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Jayhawks at 7. It's busy night.
Busy night.
Busy night in sports.
So. Always something going on.
That must mean we continue on.
I got one other thing.
I also have one other thing, so go for it.
Well, we're going to stay in the AFC West, where Max Crosby's putting his foot down. And he's saying if the Mark Davis doesn't hire Antonio Pierce, then he's going to demand a trade.
Yeah, there was a couple other guys that came out and basically said, like, we're going to be pretty pissed if you don't hire this guy.
They love playing for that guy. A lot of people kind of criticize him for
he lets him smoke cigars in the locker room. So
yeah, and that was in the Chiefs locker room too. So it's kind of rude.
Yeah, well, I hope it still
of course they
smells like that.
He's like the cool substitute teacher that comes in.
do what you want. Yeah,
you get an extra 5
day. You always knew it was going to be a good day when they rolled in the cart with the TV.
Yep. Like, yes. Can't believe that used to be a TV on a cart.
Hell yeah. Plug in that VCR. Let's watch a movie.
That's when we watched Osmosis Jones one time. It was with the sub.
Oh, nice.
It's a pretty weird movie.
Did you take that business class in Art Institute with that guy who used to be... Was he like a lawyer? Or something?
It wasn't a business class. It was a copy and infringement class, basically, all about like copy infringement.
Yeah. Did he make you watch Devil Wears Prada?
No,
dude, I had him for a class and we watched Devil Wears Prada.
Are you for real?
Yeah, and it was
he must have been feeling lazy, dude.
No, it was like we had to like write about it. Like I think it was a business class I had him for.
Maybe it was a different type of class.
It might have been, but yeah,
because what he covered with us was like copyright infringement, owners and shit like that.
Yeah, we watched Devil Wears Prada.
That guy was intense, man. He was this big, powerful black man with a bolo tie.
Yeah, he didn't mess around.
And I was like, man, he probably wins in court.
He pulls briefcase out.
Yep.
Anyways,
I object.
We digress.
Yep.
One last thing. There was a lot of speculation after the Steelers lost pretty handily to the Bills as to whether or not Mike Tomlin would be back. In the press conference after the game, the old post-game presser, the final question asked to Mike Tomlin was by a reporter, and she asked him, with you having 1 year left on your contract, and he had already started walking off and just totally ignored her question.
Yep.
He then today confirms to the Steelers that he will be back for the final year of his contract, and he will be coaching in 2024. So
yeah, I think they should give him another shot. He's had, still never a losing season.
Yeah,
but a good argument to that is, that shouldn't be your goal. That shouldn't be where the bar's set at, because I didn't realize until I listened to
get him a quarterback.
Yeah, they've lost 5 straight playoff games, man.
Yeah.
The last time they won one was against the Chiefs, 2016.
Those rascals! How dare they do
Big
that
Ben.
to the Chiefs? Look at Julius Erving.
Dude, I cannot
Dr.
believe
J.
he doesn't look his age at all.
He doesn't.
He's
pretty
aging
good.
pretty good.
As they
Yep.
say, black don't crack.
Well, he is a doctor too.
That's true. He has all the best.
All right, you want to cover some NBA?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get to it. As we watch the NBA.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Man. It's a close game here.
Nice
Oh,
pass.
there it is.
Oh, dude, that was a nice little swat on the pass there.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm burning.
I'm burning up.
I'm burning. My legs are burning. As we move into the NBA news on the All-Star Game front, the Clippers will host the 2026 All-Star Game, and that will be in their newly finished Intuit Dome Arena. Their new arena is in the process of being built, and one of its first major events after it starts hosting their basketball games will be the 2026 All-Star Game, as this year the Pacers will be hosting the All-Star Game, which is next month, and then the next year in 2025 it will be in Golden State's Chase Arena.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you see what the Indianapolis airport did?
They have a full basketball court.
Are they
in
letting
the
people play there though? Because the
I
pictures
don't
I
know.
saw, they didn't have any. It would be hard for me not to go play.
Yeah, they'd probably get mad if people are in there like squeaky shoes.
That's
and
what I'm
bouncing
saying.
a
Yeah, in an
basketball.
airport, it'd probably make people tense, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I was waiting for a flight or on like a layover, and you're like, dunk, 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 dunk.
Yeah, everybody's already in a bad mood at the airport.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that.
No,
All
definitely
right,
not.
well, let's talk about the Warriors still sucking.
Yep,
Draymond
careful over there.
Green.
Jeez.
I know I'm bumping the mic. Draymond Green returned from his suspension last night. We're going to start taking bets. If you guys want to comment on Twitch or anything like that on how many games he's going to last before he gets suspended again, I've got it at 12.
Yeah, he'll
about
make
you?
it for a little while. He might make it through the All-Star break, but yeah, he'll probably get suspended again.
I would not doubt it.
Probably this time forever. They'll probably just bar him for life. So
Kick him out of the country.
yeah, and he didn't do much for them in that return as they lose to the Grizzlies 116 to 107.
And it should be mentioned that 4 out of the 5 starters for the Grizzlies were out too.
Oh, well, and yeah, even more reason why they should have won.
Yep, exactly. That just makes it that much more embarrassing.
Yeah, and Jaw's gone, so yeah, they should have won. Mm-hmm. He should have done more. What else do you have? Do you got anything else?
Well, I want to talk on Dame Lillard because,
Dame time.
dude, he's He's clutch, man. He is just so fucking clutch when it comes to game winners. I didn't catch how many this made, but let me get to it. A couple nights ago, he hit a game winner against the Kings in overtime with just 3 or 4 seconds left. Hit a 3-pointer. And he only had 29 points on the game, but the last 3 came at the most important time. And crazy enough, this is the 15th straight win the Bucks have against the Kings. They're totally dominating.
That is pretty wild.
Yeah. It's almost like that Clippers streak against the Lakers. But another crazy thing from this game, 10th triple-double by Sabonis. And now that only puts him 2 behind Jokic for the season.
What a rascal, dude.
Jokic needs to start getting that 10th assist because he's always like 1 shy.
Yeah. Yeah, the old
Sombor
double-double.
That's right.
Also, when he hit that 3-pointer to win that game, he became just the 5th player in the NBA history to knock down 2,500 career 3-pointers. So,
Damn.
He's really good at going deep.
Yeah, the Bucks have been struggling, though. They've been kind of up and down, hot and cold, so this is a good win for them. We'll have to pay attention to see how they're going to keep going. That's all I got for the NBA.
He's got 60 more to get to Reggie Miller.
Wow.
And then Stephen Curry's got 3,554.
Outer space,
yeah.
dude. Not even fair. Look, Embiid's getting mad.
Oh,
They're finally calling fouls on him and letting Jokic go to the line.
good.
Throw your temper tantrum.
What a rascal. All right, well, let's touch on...
Look, they made him bleed.
They cut Jokic.
You don't make me bleed my own blood. Let's see what he did. I told you, everybody grows out their nails.
See, he cut him right there with his fingernails.
That looked like a knife to me, man. I don't know
think
what.
he shanked him.
Yep.
That's a shank.
Someone needs to pat him down.
Oh, my goodness.
Jesus.
Jokic is bleeding out.
Dude, he's got scars all over his body.
Look, he's got one on his wrist.
Yep.
They're putting one on his... He's going to have one on his hand
It looks like he
now.
plays basketball against Bobcats.
Good Lord.
Jesus.
All right, let's touch on the top 3 teams in each conference real quick and let you know how they're doing. We'll start in the Eastern Conference. The Boston Celtics are handily in first place with 31 wins, 9 losses. They have won 7 of their last 10. So the Celtics are rolling, as a lot of people have them basically they're favorites to win the NBA championship, for sure being there in the finals. So Celtics are continuing to roll as they have the last couple of years. Do you want to talk about the Bucks, Chad?
Yep, the Bucks 3 games back at 28-12. Like we just mentioned, they just beat the Kings the other night. And right behind them, we got the 76ers, who we're watching tonight. They're 5 games back from the Celtics.
Yeah.
Yep, and they are 5-5 in their last 10 games, so they've been a little hot and cold as well.
Yeah, so we'll see if they can pull it out tonight. We hope that they don't.
Yeah, we don't.
They are favored to win this game, I believe. Oh, but PJ with
That's
that
what I'm
3.
talking about. You guys are going to have to excuse the enthusiasm. This is a big game for the Nuggets.
All right, well, let us move into the Western Conference. In first place, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who, if you guys know, are former, what would you be called?
What are you getting at?
The Nuggets GM.
Oh, yeah. I can't think of his name right now.
What's his name? He went over there, and now look at him.
They also are owned by A-Rod, too. Alex Rodriguez.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
But anyways, the Minnesota Timberwolves are in first place in the Western Conference with 28 wins, 11 losses. They have won 6 of their last 10. They're on a 2-game win streak. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the darlings of the NBA right now, in second place, 27 wins, 12 losses. They have won 7 of their last 10, but they are on a 1-game losing streak. And then in third place, you have the reigning champions, the Denver Nuggets, sitting, what are they? Well, they're technically, they've played more games, which is unfair. They're 28-13.
Yeah.
They have won 7 of their last 3. They're on a 2-game win streak, but they do have those 2 losses over the Wolves.
They're in the top 3. It's really tight. The Thunder and Nuggets are only 1 game back. So
also surprising, the Clippers in 4th. I mean, they're 4 games back of the Nuggets, but still, with the way the Clippers started and with the trade and everything, for them to be where they are is surprising, as they have turned things around.
dude, this game is going to be like 80 points at halftime. Like, I mean, it's going to be at least 70.
Like 70 for sure. Yeah,
Good,
right
I'm
now,
glad I took the
we got
over.
3 minutes and 47 seconds left. Denver is up 63-62 on Philadelphia.
That's a high-scoring
game.
game.
A high-scoring game, yeah.
Yep.
It's been a lot of just points in the paint.
I took the over at 233 because I had a feeling.
You might
I was
get there.
They
better.
They're just going to keep
you need
going.
that money, dude.
Speaking of the
Need that
Clippers,
money, dude.
and betting, I took the Thunder to beat the Clippers tonight in L.A. They were underdogs at plus 198.
Yeah, I could see him doing it.
Yep.
But we'll see how that would. Oh, what time does that start? Probably 8 o'clock.
Yeah, probably 8 o'clock, I'd imagine. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you got anything else in the NBA?
Nope, that's it.
All right, then it's time for the NHL.
Let's do it.
And it's fitting that this goal horn is from the Avalanche, as both of my stories touch on the Avalanche. What are you sad
got the
about?
score pulled up too, man? God damn, dude, they are giving away so many goals this year.
Well, they've got their second string goalie.
Oh, is that what they're doing tonight?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it is now
4-2. Damn it.
Very unfortunate.
That is a bummer. Yeah. So, Marc-Andre Fleury, one of the most tenured goaltenders in the NHL at the moment, got his 552nd win, and he now sits alone at number 2 in all-time wins, passing former Avalanche goalie Patrick Waugh.
Wow.
So that's a whole lot of wins.
Quite an achievement there.
Yeah, definitely. So hats off to him for getting all them damn wins. And there's a possibility, well, I think it might be a good thing to try and trade the Wild for him to get some goalie help, because
they need it.
They need it bad. So that would be my little tidbit if I was a GM.
They're giving
NHL,
up.
So.
I don't know what the numbers are, but it's got to be close to 4 games, 3.8 maybe.
Yeah, probably 3.5 if you will.
Yep.
If you want to give him that little halfer. What do you got, Chad? You got something for the NHL?
That dude for the Knights, Eichel. He's gonna have surgery and gonna be out for the foreseeable future.
Oh yeah, lower body. We know it's the old lower body.
Just in this general direction.
Oh, they say he's week to week, so it wasn't too bad. It must be, they probably cleaned up his knee or something
like that, something minor.
But yeah, Jack Eichel hurt in the 2-1 overtime victory against the Bruins. Left the game in the second period, and now he is out week to week. So we'll see when he gets back. And I will go to my next story, which involves Valeri Nichushkin. He is on the Avalanche. He's now entering the NHL Player Assistance Program and will miss an indefinite amount of time while he deals with his issues. The Player Assistance Program is basically for players to be able to reach out and get help for a specific, whether it be substance issues, depression, anxiety, things of that nature. So he's obviously dealing with something. He is now the second Avs player to enter the program, as Samuel Girard entered the program back in November for anxiety and alcohol abuse. Valeri Nichushkin is having a really good year this year. He's got 22 goals and 20 assists in 40 games, and he is currently sitting 2 games from playing in his 500th game. So hopefully he gets back soon. It is nice that the NHL allows the guys to have something like that they can go to and get the help they need, because I feel like a lot of these guys do turn to alcohol and stuff like that and pills to deal with all the stuff they're going through. So it's good to see the NHL being on the forefront of getting these guys into programs to help them before things go sour.
Yeah,
so
that's the right move to make.
Yeah, do you got anything else for the NHL, Chad?
I think that's all I got for the NHL.
That's all you got, really?
Yep.
Well, then let's move into college sports, which we're doing an all-encompassing college sports thing right now, but we're still going to listen to a little bit of
this one right here.
Jack!
One of the best college teams in history.
Was it the Louisiana Tech Mud Dogs?
Yeah, Mud Dogs. That's the name. Mud Dogs.
Southern Louisiana Tech.
Your name is Needle Dick.
Well, we'll kick it off with college football as we had a little bit of a coaching carousel happen. We mentioned last week that Nick Saban retires, steps down, whatever you want to call it, resigns from Alabama, and Kalen DeBoer, former Washington coach, who just recently played in the college football championship, is now hired by Alabama. He will be taking over for Nick Saban. We will see how he does. And then just as soon as he is hired and leaves, Arizona's Jed Fish now replaces Kalen DeBoer in Washington. So
quite the promotion.
Things happen quickly. So
yes, they do.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. There's going to be a lot more. The college football, there's so many just changes by coaches and OCs and DCs. They all just move around constantly. So.
It's pretty wild how when like a big position like that opens up too, it allows coaches that just want to raise to really have some leverage. Because Steve Sarkisian at Texas signed an extension because he could have been like, I'm going to go interview for this job. And Texas was like, no, we'll pay you more money. Same thing with Lance Leipold for KU. Once the Washington job became available, he was a great candidate. He took KU and has turned that team into a competitor, and he signed an extension. So that's what happens when these coaching changes move in college. The coaches are like, I'll stay here, but I want to raise.
Yeah. Well, money talks. So
sure does.
Well, you had a couple things in the college basketball.
Yep. All right. Last week we had a bunch of upsets. My KU Jayhawks fell, Houston fell, and then Purdue also fell to Nebraska. There was a few others, Tennessee, and I can't remember the other ones, but yeah, there was like at least 5 or 6 in the top 10 that fell.
Oh yeah, that was that night we were talking. Like everybody lost.
Everybody lost, and then a few days later, like it just kept happening.
Yeah.
But UConn is now UConn who are the reigning champs, take the number 1 spot as multiple teams get upset last week. Then Gonzaga. I just want to mention this because this is crazy. We've always seen them at the top. They fall out of the top 25 for the first time since 2016.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, really crazy.
I did have one thing to mention in NCAA women's basketball that I just wanted to shout out real quick.
Should.
CU Buffs women's basketball jumps to number 3 in the latest AP Top 25 poll.
Number 3, man. That is crazy.
Pretty wild for them. So.
Yep.
We'll see
good for them. That's awesome.
That shakes out for them, especially when it comes down to the women's Final Four. So.
Yeah. I'll definitely be paying attention to them.
You better, dude.
Deion Sanders' daughter's on that team.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing, though. I haven't seen too much about her.
I think she's a freshman. She's just kind of riding the bench for now, but it's pretty cool that they're at number 3.
Yeah.
It's now 3-4.
What else you got? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. But the Avs scored once, so now it's only 3-4.
Nice. Yeah, the good thing is they're really good at scoring goals, so they're always right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot we didn't really go down the NHL.
Oh. Let's see. I can switch.
Just the standings real quick. I skipped over it. We jumped right into college football. So we'll just talk about each team leading the division. The Boston Bruins are leading the Atlantic Division, 26 wins, 8 losses, 9 overtime losses for a total of 61 points. In the Metropolitan Division, you have the New York Rangers, 27 wins, 13 losses, 2 overtime losses for a grand total of 56 points. The Central Division, that's where the Avalanche are. They are directly behind the Winnipeg Jets, who have 28 wins, 10 losses, 4 overtime losses for 60 points. The Avalanche are 1 point behind with 59. In the Pacific Division, we have the Vancouver Canucks, 29 wins, 11 losses, 4 overtime losses, and 62 points. Sorry about that, guys. I got excited about the college football and all the cool things happening there. I jumped right over it. What do we got happening, Chad? Oh, my
73, 76. Told you we were almost going to hit 80, man.
They damn near did.
Yeah.
Philly still could.
If we just
like,
could place him.
What was that?
Oh, that's a bunch of bullshit.
He hurt him. Damn you, Kelly Oubre.
Your stupid looking
You
Converse
son of a
shoes.
gun. Well, in that case, then, it is time to get into the UFC.
Let's do it. Hit me with some Mills Lane.
Let's do it.
Let's get it on!
All right.
Let's get it on.
And we're going to get it on this Saturday. Not me and Chris. Sean
We might. You
Strickland.
never know. Things get weird.
Hey, man.
Hannah's out of town.
Yeah, just come on over. But Sean Strickland will get it on with Dricus Du Plessis. All right, this is Sean Strickland, and they're going to get it on Canada, too. I'm just going to keep saying getting it on because it makes it weird.
Yeah, I like
Getting it on.
They're getting it on. Let's get it on.
That's what I was thinking, too. It's basically a coin flip right now. We got Sean Strickland at minus 130 odds and then plus 110 for Dricus. A lot of bad beef here because when the press conference for this fight announcement came out,
Strickland said he's going to stab him.
DTP had said that he was bringing up some childhood trauma that Sean Strickland had admitted a while back. And, yeah, it's good. Man, we just ended 78 at halftime.
Oh,
That
damn.
is
78,
insane.
78. Damn, we came back.
That is crazy. All right, but yeah, Sean Strickland, if nobody knows, this is a very controversial, crass figure. I talked about the same thing whenever we covered the Izzy fight. But in that fight, that is one of the biggest upsets in UFC history where, I mean, he just completely dismantled Israel Adesanya.
The old Philly shell came to life there.
Yeah, that Philly shell is really one hell of a boxing technique for him because he never gets hit. And Dricus is a big dude. I think it's a guy that could really give Sean some problems. But like I was alluding to earlier, a lot of that bad beef, it can always lead to someone being really angry and coming out there and performing right off the bat, or getting in their head and then they're a little distracted and not being as focused as they need.
Yeah.
Should mention Dricus comes from South Africa. And yeah, this fight will take place at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, Saturday night. It's a toss-up, man. Like the odds say, it's just really close. But I think I'm gonna take Strickland on this. He's bulked up a little bit since his last fight. I really want him to lose. I'm praying that I'm wrong. Don't like the guy too much. I think he is good for the sport, but
you always got to have that villain guy.
You got to, and he plays the asshole really well.
And he's better than Colby Covington, at least.
Yeah,
I will take his shit. I mean, all the shit he says is wild and totally. Sometimes insane,
stupid, just dumb. But when Sean and Colby were going
it doesn't seem like it's a total act. It seems like he's just that way.
Yeah, Sean really is that
Colby
way.
Covington just seems like he's full of shit.
Yeah,
and
like a WWE
idiot.
character.
Yeah, it's literally just a WWE
That's
character,
what he is.
especially when he was wearing that suit last fight.
Oh, yeah, that was so dumb.
The bedazzled suit.
Yeah. But, yeah, you never want to miss these pay-per-views. They're always really good. But this one
doesn't look...
It's not jumping off the page.
Chris Curtis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one versus Marc-Andre Barrios.
Don't know anything about him. That fight right before this one to kick off the main card, I am pretty psyched about. Arnold Allen's a good fighter against Movsar
Evliov.
I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, but I've seen Arnold Allen fight. He got his ass whooped by Max Holloway, one of my favorite fighters, but he is a good fighter. And then in the co-main event, we have Raquel Pennington versus Mayra Bueno Silva, and Silva's actually the favorite at minus 166. She's the number 3 ranked bantamweight fighter, and then Raquel's number 2. So I did see something where like this is the first time we will have a bantamweight title bout for women's without Nunes in there since like 2014 or 15.
That's
or something.
crazy.
That's just nuts.
Yeah, Silva's coming in on a 3-fight win streak. So
she's Brazilian. It's hard not to pick. It's hard to pick against Brazilians.
8 wins by submission, 7 first-round finishes. So she is quite the wrestler. So,
and I'm not sure Pennington's age, but I know she's kind of up there as far as like fighter age goes. Not as far as women. Anybody can do that. But it's just something where I think, when it comes to the women's fights, I notice the younger ones seem to, and then that happens with the guys too. But I mean, a lot of times with the guys, the younger fighters, they you don't have the Tom Brady's in there too much.
She's your age.
Yeah, but dude, that's what I'm saying. Is fighter age.
It's always about. I just kind of realized this, and this is kind of a sad thing. When you hit that point of age where you're like,
oh,
they're
kind of
washed up,
old.
they're done, and then you're like,
oh, they're my age.
They're 3 years younger than I am. Fuck.
Yeah. But in the UFC, for a fighter, 36 is kind of getting up there. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, but that definitely makes me feel pretty good.
one thing we should talk about, which just dropped right before we
got
on.
Call, man.
Speaking of Max Holloway,
thank you for reminding me.
Take it away.
Yeah, just right before we started recording, I did tweet it. I think it was actually my personal account, but I'll try to switch. Dana White, excuse me, announced for UFC 300 2 more fights: Jim Miller versus Bobby Green. 2 complete veterans in the game. I'm not sure how many fights total they have in the UFC, but I'm really sure it's like probably over 50 or 60 for both of them. Jim Miller's been in the game for a long time. Same with Bobby Green. Bobby Green's coming off of a fight where he just completely kicked the hell out of Tony Ferguson a while back. And this is super exciting because these guys deserve this. They've been in the UFC for a long time, been great fighters to watch, always giving a good show. Jim Miller just choked out this guy last weekend on the fight night, actually.
Yeah.
And the other one that gets me super pumped, it's 2 of my favorite top 5 fighters. Justin Gaethje, coming from Colorado here, and Max Holloway from Hawaii for the BMF title.
Yeah. It's going to be a great fight.
It's going to be amazing. These are 2 guys
2 of the best boxing brawlers in the UFC.
I've seen every one of their fights. They've never put on a boring fight. Not once.
I just watched clips. It was a clip of that Holloway fight when he was just dismantling that dude, and then he turns and he's yelling at somebody, and he's like, "I'm the best fucking boxer."
I think it was that
in the
Arnold
UFC.
Allen.
And he goes boom and socks him, and he's not even looking at him. And
it
I
was
like, "Damn,
coolest
dude,
shit ever."
That is
man.
hardcore."
Yeah.
And that guy's like trying to fight him, and he's not even looking at him, just beating him up. Still, it's like,
he's like in Matrix
holy
mode,
shit,
man.
dude.
He's like Anderson Silva level, where he's just juking him. He's talking to the people in the crowd. He goes, "I'm the best boxer in the world." Not even looking at him, juking him, like seriously in the Matrix, man.
Max not even looking and connects with a straight right that was so hard. I was like,
man.
oh my god.
I'm pretty sure that was the Arnold Allen fight, because Allen had really been coming up, and this was thought to be like a tough match for Max. But like Max's striking is just levels above anybody else. Then him going up against Justin Gaethje, where he's a guy that just brings just the brawl, just the fight every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody cuts out of a fight with Justin Gaethje with a clean face. So I mean, this is looking to be probably my favorite fight of UFC 300 so far, honestly.
Yeah, and it should be a good one. But
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right.
And tune in, guys. We'll be recapping a little bit next week.
Yes, indeed. We're at that point, though. We're going to take a quick break. If you are watching the live stream, you will be seeing just a screen telling you we'll be back, and you'll be hearing our intro music over and over again. But if you're watching or listening after the fact, you will be hearing Flight Kamikaze, as they are the musical break guest all this month long. And the name of this song is Casual, Not Comfortable. So make sure to give them a like and a follow. And we will be right back. are back. You just heard Flight Kamikaze. The name of that song was Casual, Not Comfortable. If you haven't yet, please go and give them a like and follow on all things streaming, wherever you get your music. And make sure to give them a shout out if you like what they're doing, because that's what we can only hope for from playing all these bands, is that you guys at least like it, and then their fans like us, and so on and so forth. And then we just create a great little community for everybody.
That's right. If you like the song, just give it a quick little type in on Spotify or whatever you listen to your music on, and enjoy the rest of it, because you'll probably like the rest of the music.
Yeah, definitely. So we are back. It is time for us to get into the NFL deep dives. What do you want to hear, Chad, for the deep dives? Is there one you haven't heard about?
Surprise me. I can't think of it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll surprise you. I was hoping you'd have an idea, but we'll go with...
We got a lot of options.
we need to get a few more.
Yeah.
Time for the NFL deep dive.
Now that's football. You get it? You get it? You like it?
You get it? You get it? You like it?
So violent.
So violent indeed. Well, the first game of the wild card round, as the NFL likes to call it, Super Wild Card Weekend.
Super.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's not
include
just
that.
Wild Card Weekend, it's Super. And it was jam-packed full of football. We had 6 football games this weekend. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. It was supposed to be 3 on Sunday.
Yep.
Had a little bit of an issue there with the Bills.
The weather threw
The
that
weather
off.
threw that for a loop. And the Bills got moved to Monday, where we then had 2 games. So
Yep.
it was a weird day on Monday, 2:30. There was football.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
Yep, watching
for
it at
people
work.
at work. So,
Well,
but,
Saturday kicked off with the Browns at Texans.
yeah, and boy,
Damn.
did we not see this one playing out the way it happened.
Nope. The Browns shocked me, man. Like, I really thought they would come through there, and the experience from Joe Flacco would come through.
We're good. That was some AMD software stuff.
Oh, damn, that's scary.
Sorry, we always
That
get worried
scared
when
me.
noises happen, and we
Shit.
think that things just broke, but we're good.
Sweet.
Yeah, but yeah, where were you at there?
So
Sorry.
Stroud just goes crazy, man. He throws for 267, wasn't it? And
274,
274.
3 touchdowns.
Exact same stat line as Jordan Love.
Yeah, Jordan Love 2 yards less, 272. Both of them go 16 of 21.
Yep. Well, Joe Flacco did not keep that hot streak going. He did keep the streak going of interceptions with 2 interceptions, only 1 TD, threw for 307 yards. But those 2 interceptions were so costly because they were both pick sixes.
Yeah, 2 pick sixes, one by Steven Nelson, the other by Christian Harris. So yeah, those were just huge in terms of putting them out of the game. Stroud does become the youngest QB to win a playoff game. He beats out Michael Vick. He did throw those 3 touchdowns, one to Nico Collins of 15 yards, one 76 yards to Brevin Jordan, and then a 37-yard touchdown to Dalton Schultz. This was also the worst playoff loss for the Browns since the 34-0 loss to the Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore Colts in 1968, as they lose 45-14 to the Browns. So,
Yeah, this was a rough one to watch because, I mean, I don't know, it was like, 24-14 at half, and then the Texans just kept it going. I mean, Nico Collins with 96 yards. Then they even got in someone that we've kind of forgot about because he went through some medical issues his first rookie season. But John Mechie came in there and had a good game. Had 3 catches for 44 yards. Then Dalton Schultz caught a touchdown. Brevin Jordan had that long 76-yard touchdown.
yep.
I mean, they were just doing whatever they wanted against the number 1 defense in the Browns. Scoring yards defense, I guess.
Yeah, and just to give you a little, insight into that, as Myles Garrett, one of the best defensive players in the league right now, Laramie Tunsil versus Myles Garrett this season, 20 pass blocking snaps, 2 pressures allowed, 0 sacks allowed.
Yeah.
So he's shut down one of the best players, and yeah, I don't think Myles Garrett did anything in
Not
this
at all.
game.
Nope.
I think Let me see here. Where is he? Man, he is going to town on that rubber ball. Yeah, he got 0 tackles for loss. What else did he have here? 0 sacks, 2 solo tackles. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well,
all right.
We also got the Browns, just giving it up to the Texans. I mean, they gave that game away, and now we got the Texans going to Baltimore, the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tough one. Also, another huge test defensively.
Very big. I mean, I was just going to get to that. Lamar said earlier today in a press conference that he feels super confident in their offense going into Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a few little dips and dives, but in terms of coming into the playoffs, they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
In terms of not just being a running game strictly, but, I mean, Lamar has been dicing some people up.
Yeah, shredding people.
Too, so.
Now they get Mark Andrews back. Isaiah Likely's already been looking good. So, I mean, this game, it's just crazy to think that, like, I don't know. I just didn't see this happening at the beginning of the year with the Texans taking on the number 1 seed, and the Texans are number 4 in the seeding. It's just, I think that the Ravens will probably come out on top, but I could see the Texans being able to score 17 points, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? The Texans also no slouches on defense, so it's also going to be a test for Lamar and the Ravens. So,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, all we can do is wait and see, unfortunately.
It should be good. Then they play Saturday. I think they're the first game. Yeah, like 2:30, I think, right?
Let me tell you in just a second. This is good podcasting.
Yeah, I had to pull it up.
Okay, so Saturday, Green Bay, San Fran. That's the 8:15 game. Texans, Baltimore, the 4:30 game.
Yep. Yeah.
So 2:30 here.
Yep, 2:30.
So
Okay.
In terms of injuries, though, Houston does take a huge hit as Noah Brown leaves that game with a shoulder injury in the first quarter. He has been put on IR, so they will not have him for the foreseeable future.
And they're already without Tank Dell, too. So.
Yeah, so, but they do still have plenty of options there as they continue to just to have every wide receiver just produce for them this year, it seems like.
It doesn't seem to matter who's in there. John Mechie, yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Denzel Perryman, he had a rib injury. He will be playing in the divisional round, though, so good news for them on the defensive side of things.
That's good.
Let us move into Mr. Chad's Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the number 3 Chiefs beat the Dolphins, the number 6 Dolphins, 26-7 Saturday night in one of the coldest games in NFL history.
4th coldest, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was wild to see some of the stuff that was happening.
Yeah.
You had water bottles freezing as you pulled them out of the fridges.
Beer
People were
freezing
opening
up.
beers and they were exploding and freezing instantly.
It was frigid.
Patrick Mahomes' helmet's exploding.
Yeah, shattered. It was nuts, but I don't think Miami was equipped to handle this game. They seemed really cold. They were only able to convert 1 third down, and I think that was in the 4th quarter. They went 1 for 12 for third down.
Yeah.
They held Raheem Mostert, who led the league in touchdowns this year, to 33 yards, no touchdowns. I think the story of this game is the defense. Held the high-scoring Miami offense that put up 70 on Denver to 7 points in the playoffs.
You see that, people? He had to throw that in there. It wasn't necessary, but he had to throw that in there.
It seemed kind of relevant to me. Sevens.
Yeah. The NFL's second-ranked defense made Tua look like Tebow out there. And like you said, the Chiefs seemed unaffected by the cold, and the Dolphins were completely out of sorts. I brought it up in our little text chain we had. That Dolphins offense is just so predicated on timing if Tua's not hitting his third step and launching that ball to where it needs to be, that offense is not working.
Yeah.
And you just saw someone like Mahomes who's able to make plays just off schedule and, take advantage of teams when things break down. And Tua could not do that.
No.
Tua was he looked terrible.
Rattled. Yeah.
He looked like he didn't know how to play football.
I can't remember the exact numbers, but they were talking about it in the preview where, he's the best quarterback when it comes to getting the ball out fast at like 2.4 seconds or something like that. And he's got the highest completion percentage when he does that. But if you make him hold the ball to 2.5 seconds, that's a whole nother ball game. Like, and then he declines drastically. Everything falls apart. And to me, we talk about, Brock Purdy's really criticized a lot for just being a system quarterback and just doing what Kyle Shanahan sets up for him. But I think more than anything, we see that from Tua, because if shit breaks down, he's not able to improvise.
Yeah. I also want to mention for the Chiefs, Rashee Rice has officially arrived. 8 receptions, 130 yards. He has been kind of, coming to the forefront in terms of just any wide receiver for the Chiefs, as everybody has just not been able to catch the football this year. Kadarius Toney was a healthy scratch. Well, I don't know if he's healthy.
No, he was
a scratch. He was inactive.
I think it's a hip injury that he's dealing with, but I was not mad about him not
playing.
That's for sure. Yeah.
But Rashee Rice, 130 yards, almost has as many receiving yards as the entire Dolphins receiving core, who had a total of 163. Another huge bonus for the Chiefs as it comes at the best time, which is the playoffs. Isaiah Pacheco is running with a vengeance. That guy, he runs angry.
He does.
It's nice to see. You don't see that much anymore. He hits holes looking to punish people. He gets 89 yards and a score, and then Mr. Harrison Buttkicker 4 field goals for the Chiefs. And also the Dolphins now hold the longest playoff win drought at 23 years.
Yeah, and I know that's in football, but I know that's like maybe second in all of North American sports too.
I wonder then if the Lions were first then. That's why they just became
Yeah,
second.
I think that's why, because of that. But something happened here. You got hit in the head.
Oh no, they're mugging Jokic.
This is ridiculous.
Dude.
They already tried to keep him on the plane for 6 hours.
Throw Embiid out.
Let's see what happened.
Oh my God!
They bumped
he
heads.
murdered him.
It wasn't Embiid that he bumped. It was somebody else.
I think it was the other guy.
Yep. All right.
Anyway, sorry.
Yep, the Chiefs handle business. Yeah, they just completely stifled that offense. I think it was like a total. The Chiefs put up like 380 yards offense. Hold on, we almost got that up here. Yeah, the Dolphins had 264 yards offense to 409 for the Chiefs. And a lot of that, like you said, falls on Pacheco. Him being able to run the ball like he does. Like, we didn't have him in the last Bills game. We didn't have Donovan Smith in the last Bills game. Nick Bolton was just coming off of a wrist injury. So I think this is going to be big, because I will now mention we will be taking on the Bills Sunday at 4:30. And we will be going to Buffalo for Patrick's first
revenge game.
Road game.
Yeah, his first road game in 15 playoff games, which is insane.
Pretty crazy.
What?
No, go ahead. I was just going to mention how many playoff wins he's surpassed. The people.
The people?
Yeah.
What I wanted to mention was the Dolphins now have 11 straight losses when it's below 40 degrees.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They don't like the cold.
That's what we were talking about at work the other day. It's like, man, that's what I love about football, is the elements play a big part in it. And you got to be, maybe like what they should do instead of doing their training camp in Miami, where it's nice. They got beaches right there. They're all having a good time.
They go to Antarctica.
They go to like Alaska or something like that. That's what they need to do, man. Like, guys, we got to start winning in the cold.
They train on Everest.
Like, newsflash, football goes into January.
Yeah.
But, I just wanted to mention, with that win, that puts Patrick Mahomes now past Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Troy Aikman for the most playoff wins in NFL history.
Yeah, he's going to keep racking them up. So,
Hopefully.
Injuries in terms of that game. Derek Nadi, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Elbow was unable to return. I tried seeing what his status was. Couldn't find anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. When I see the injuries on Gamecast, they don't really give an update on it. But, yeah, as far as I know, that was the only one that I could think of. Damn. They need to get some offense going here, man. Down by 5. 5 minutes left to go in third. But let's move on to the Sunday games.
All right, let's do it. Starting with the number 7 Packers taking on the number 2 Cowboys and just demolishing them 48-32. The score is a lie.
Yeah.
The score is a lie.
Oh, yeah. Don't pay attention to the score. It was not that close. I believe it was 48-6. No, 48. No, it wasn't. It was they were beating their ass going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were. I think they were. Wasn't it like 20-48 or something like that? Or no. What was it? Oh, it was 24. They were down.
Let's see. Going into the fourth quarter, it was 41-16. That's
okay,
yeah.
I was about to say it was like
41-16
16 or 17.
And then Dallas just scored a couple garbage time touchdowns, threw them to Jake Ferguson, which was nice.
Nice for you. Yeah,
Yep,
good
that's
thing for you.
But
yeah, Aaron Jones goes off for 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love throws for 3 more, and Darnell Savage returns an interception for 64 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love we were talking about at work the other day, how crazy is it that the Green Bay Packers fall into what possibly, right now anyways, is looking like another franchise quarterback.
Dude, it's insane. Like, how are they that lucky? Where just like one after another. I mean, it makes a difference where he's like, he spent 2, maybe 3 years behind Rodgers, I think it was, and he gets to see how this guy played, and I see a lot of similarities there. But, I mean, you see where, like, there was one that they brought up Sunday that I think it was Romo that was calling this game, maybe. Yeah, I think it was. Well, they just, like, he didn't have any feet on the ground. You know, he's throwing off his back foot, making these, like, erratic throws, but completely, you know, throwing a dart on him. I mean, to Romeo Doubs, 151 yards.
Yeah.
The weapons on this Packers team.
Yeah, it was a career day for Dobbs, who just a week ago was hospitalized for a chest injury. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and Dak throws 2 interceptions. He was looking like he didn't know who the hell he was throwing to. They were all out of sorts. Him and CeeDee Lamb, who've literally been on the same page for this entire season almost.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb
looked like they'd never played football together.
Yeah, it's crazy when he sets the franchise record for like 2 different stats for the Cowboys. I think like maybe yardage for a wide receiver, definitely receptions. He had like 130 some receptions this year. And then goes out there and they are completely not on the same page.
Yeah, and then the other big thing is just the absolute failure of their defense, who has been a strong point for the majority of the year. And then you look at Micah Parsons, 0 sacks, 0 tackles for loss.
0 pressures.
0 pressures, yeah. Deron Bland, he had some tackles, but yeah, he wasn't effective like he has been, getting turnovers.
Yep.
But yeah, the Cowboys are the paper tiger for sure of the playoffs. I think we all kind of knew the Dolphins, especially with the amount of injuries the Dolphins had on the defensive side of things. I mean, I still think they would have lost either way, but they were a shell of the team they were. Here comes the I mean, even the Cowboys do. I mean, on the back end of the defense with Diggs being out and stuff like that. I mean, they obviously, and Van Der Esch being out, they are obviously missing some guys, but their offense should have been enough to do this, especially against Green Bay. And man, the defense just falls off and the offense falls apart.
Well, and those interceptions were just so costly by Prescott, and that's what he was criticized for so much in the offseason. Came out and said, "Oh, I'm gonna knock those out. I'm gonna cut those down," and he did. During the regular season, he cut I think the interception in half almost.
Yeah.
And threw 2 costly ones here. One a pick 6, and then one that put the Packers up like on the 20, I believe it was. But yeah, just insane to see these upsets like this. like we said, with C.J. Stroud and then another young buck with Jordan Love. I mean, I think we're looking at a new era of NFL QBs.
Well, yeah, not to mention Green Bay is the youngest team in the NFL right now. So this is for years to come right now. They've got a bunch of guys on rookie contracts, and they're going to be able to build that team. Yeah,
they're going to be
pretty
good
easily.
For a while.
So they're going to be good for a while. And also, I think we'll talk about it too here in a bit. I think this is the first time that two teams in the same conference did they both get bounced this week? Is there something like
the
that?
Eagles and the Cowboys.
So there was something like that. But then also the Dallas Cowboys now are the only team to ever go and have 12 or more wins in a season and never make it to the conference championship.
Yeah, it's now
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row they've had 12 and still not won. Well, made it to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any major injuries for anybody, especially, for the Packers moving forward. I didn't see any major injuries for them, so that's also a bonus for them.
That's
as well.
good. They're going to be taking on the number 1 seeded 49ers next week.
That's going to be a really good game.
I am very excited for that. That will be Saturday at 6:15, like Chris mentioned earlier.
This will be a huge test for Love, as he's now going to be taking on one of the best defenses in the NFC. So
it is a good defense, but we've seen there's holes there.
Yeah,
we've seen from the Baltimore game. We've seen from other ones where
Baltimore did make them look pedestrian.
Yeah, they are vulnerable.
So
that one's really interesting to me too, because after we listened to the Playmakers podcast, Kyle Shanahan's going to be taking on his old buddy Matt LaFleur again in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times, but it's got to be around 4 or 5 times they've met in the playoffs now.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
Yep.
Why don't you take us into the next game, Chad?
All right, the next game that was really exciting was the one right after that.
Is the number 3 Lions taking on the number 6 Rams.
Yep.
And the Lions win in a nail-biter 24-23.
This was the only good game of the weekend.
It really was, honestly.
Yep. Matt Stafford got knocked out pretty much. We saw a clip.
Yeah, he was literally unconscious for a good
full second.
5, like couple seconds.
Yeah. But and then his hand got banged up, his ribs were a little banged up. He was really getting hit, and the Lions survived, come out on top. It was really shocking. The Rams were pushing towards the late in the game to get in field goal range. They were in Lions territory around the 40 or so, and just elected to punt it. Shockingly.
Yeah, which was wild.
Yeah. So, this was pretty amazing. It was cool to see Jared Goff and Matt Stafford after the game have a really class act kind of meeting. But I really like Dan Campbell's reaction in the locker room after the game, where he gave the game ball to Jared Goff and says, well, I guess you're good enough for fucking Detroit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was super cool. Also, Campbell's giant balls going for it, not taking the kneel down approach. You're not happy what's happening. Oh, we're coming back. It's okay. Instead of kneeling it down at the end of the game and, punting the ball back to one of the best fourth quarter comeback quarterbacks of all time, in Matt Stafford, they continue to throw the ball down the field and wind up just running the clock out on them.
Oh, yeah. They just
huge.
completely ran the clock out of him. We saw Jahmyr Gibbs have a good game. Puka Nacua, we got to mention him, even though they lost. This guy has arrived. 9 receptions, 181 yards, and 1 TD. But, it just wasn't quite enough. And Matt Stafford had a big game, too, with 367. But... Yeah, Matt Stafford
still looks like he's an insanely good quarterback. I don't know if there's ever been a trade that has worked out this well for both teams.
I think I saw a stat, too, where it showed they're side by side, and it's nearly identical.
Yeah.
Their win percentage.
It's crazy. Usually somebody ends up getting the shit into the stick, and on this one, neither team has. Jared Goff gets the Lions their first playoff win in 32 years, as we mentioned earlier, breaking the longest current playoff drought. Williams and Gibbs. Gibbs is one of the picks they got from the Rams, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably so, yeah.
Williams and Gibbs both have rushing touchdowns. Amon St. Ra, 7 Amon-Ra St. Brown, sorry. 7 receptions, 110 yards. Yeah, and the Lions now move on.
Yep, move on, and they will take the Bucks. When would that be? Sunday, I think it is. Yeah, Sunday.
That is the early game. Yeah, 1 p.m. our time.
On NBC. So, yeah, we'll get to that game here where last night we'll cover the game first, and then we'll get to the Bucks game, the first game. This one won't take too long, but the Bills beat up on the Steelers. They jumped out to an early lead at 21-0. Then the Steelers started to come back after a blocked field goal. And then, yeah, the Bills just kind of ran away with it after that. Shakir had a touchdown where nobody really wanted to tackle him. Just the tackling on the Steelers side.
He just kept going, and I was like, what the hell is happening, man?
Why don't they touch him? They're just letting him go. Yeah, it was crazy. But, I mean, Josh Allen was a hero in this game. He had this 56-yard touchdown, I think it was. And
he hit him with the hezzy slide. Did you see it? He almost looked like he was going to slide, and then that's when he split those two defenders.
It was definitely a fake slide. I'm really shocked that they didn't call a flag for it.
They don't have a rule for that in the NFL.
I know. It's only in college, I thought. Yeah.
Well, and you can do that in college too.
No, after
because that's what Pickett did that made him all famous.
I know, but after Pickett, they changed it.
Oh, they did.
Sure, they did. Oh. Yeah.
I didn't know that
because I think there was a game I was watching last year where a quarterback got called for it.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. But, yeah, they need to change it in the NFL because, I mean, they definitely made the linebackers hesitate, and there were certainly a few other calls that really benefited the Bills.
Well, and then they said that later in the game when he slid and that guy hit him, he's like, well, what are you supposed to do? We don't know if he's actually going to slide or not.
Yeah.
So, like, we have to kind of hit him. But, yeah.
My hunch is the NFL really wants the Bills in the Super Bowl. They have such a big fan base. They generate so much money.
We'll be talking about their fan base a little bit later. Speaking of which,
and I mean they won this game outright. I'm not saying they won the game because of the refs, but at the end of the game where the Steelers were trying to come back, George Pickens was clearly held egregiously. I mean, where his jersey was pulled down almost to his feet. And they didn't call a holding call, and it was on like a 4th and 3 that pretty much ended their hopes of trying to come back. And afterwards, George Pickens came out and said, oh, I guess when you play the Bills, you got to beat the refs too, something like that.
Yeah, he's like, it's hard to win when you're playing the refs and the Bills.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to say when he was the guy that had the early fumble that led to an early lead for the Bills. But, I mean, there were a lot of iffy calls in that game.
Yeah, but you know, what are you gonna do? Every game this year, any game, you could say the refs are screwing it up, and we all know they are, but it just is what it is at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, like you mentioned, Josh Allen was the MVP of this game, if you will, with his 3 touchdown passes, and then, like Chad mentioned, it was a franchise playoff record 52-yard touchdown run. I also think it was the longest run in a playoff game since Colin Kaepernick.
Yep, yeah, that's what I heard them say.
So
I think his was
pretty
like 57 or 58.
Yeah, his was longer, but I didn't realize he was like 2012. It's so crazy that was over 10 years ago.
A long time ago, man. Yeah, but yeah, the Bills advance, and they will be hosting my Chiefs next week.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the best game of the week.
We should mention, though, too, they lost a lot of players in that game.
Oh, yeah, let me give you a rundown of what happened in that game for them. Bernard was ruled out after twisting his right ankle. Starting nickelback Taron Johnson did not return after being evaluated for concussion. They were also beginning the game without Rasul Douglas with a knee and linebacker Terrell Dotson with a shoulder. So, yeah, they have a lot of people that were injured in that game.
Yeah, quite a bit. And
so
they were already depleted a lot of people. That guys had been hurt early in the season, so they'll really be trying to play the next man up strategy next week.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Well, let's move into the final game, Chad.
Yep. All right. The Bucks and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Another upset.
Yeah, huge upset. As the Eagles have maybe one of the worst collapses we have seen in recent history, as they start out the season 10-1. At one point, at that point in time, they were the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, according to Vegas. Jalen Hurts was the odds-on favorite to win the MVP, and then they go on to lose 6 of the next 7.
Yeah,
they get the 5th seed after having the 1st seed for the majority of the year, and they take on the Buccaneers at home, as the 9-8 Buccaneers get the first home game on Wild Card Weekend thanks to winning their division.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield throws for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the Buccaneers to the 32-9 win over the Eagles and putting the final nail in that terrible slide.
Yeah. Horrible. I mean, I think Aitman said it best in the game last night, where he said this is a team that was defeated before coming into this game, and that's why they played defeated, and it looked like it. That was some of the worst tackling I have ever seen. There was multiple plays that I can think of with Tompkins, David Moore, where
Bradbury,
Bradbury got burned. I mean, the lack of effort on tackling was just atrocious. I mean, somebody needs to be fired from this. I mean, it was just awful.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the poor tackling, David Moore scores on a 44-yard reception in the first quarter. Rookie Trey Palmer broke the game open with a 56-yard catch and run for a touchdown that put the Bucs up 25-9 late in the third quarter, and both of the receivers just ate up on the secondary that didn't want to tackle anybody or cover anybody for that matter.
Yeah. I mean, it was just an onslaught. I mean, the Eagles tried to make it a game in the third quarter. They made the Bucs punt 3 straight times, actually.
Yeah.
And then it just wasn't enough. The Bucs got a safety on Jalen Hurts where he just looked lost. And after that, I think that broke him.
Well, and honestly, I think what really broke him, too, was when they tried the tush push. And they're like, nothing's working. What do we do?
Oh, I forgot they have Vita Vea.
Yeah, and dude, he played that perfectly.
Yep.
He shot underneath Jason and got lower than him, and they just stuffed him.
It just pushes that pile up.
Yeah. Instead of going forward, it just stopped and went right up.
Yep. That was a big stop for him.
But Mayfield, dude, I got to give this guy credit. We were talking about it. Dude's an ultimate gamer. We were talking about him coming in. He's hitting the smelling salts.
Getting pumped up.
He's on his 4th team in less than 2 years. When he was on the Panthers, they had him running scout team D.
I saw that too. Yeah.
So this guy went from
fuck?
a year and a half ago running scout team D end to now having won a playoff game. He's won 2 playoff games, hasn't he?
Yeah, because when he was on the Browns, he beat the Steelers.
Yeah. So yeah, he has the Browns' only one playoff win in recent history.
Yep,
so.
that's right. And they traded him away. And then look what he's doing for the Bucs. But yeah, I mean, Godwin had a touchdown in this game. Mike Evans had a couple big catches. Rashad White finished with 72 yards. They had a little trouble running the ball until the end of the game, where they were able to kind of just grind out the clock. On the Eagles side, Devontae Smith had a big game, 8 receptions, 148 yards, but it never amounted to anything. The Eagles were only able to get in the end zone once, and I think this is the beginning of watching maybe the Eagles fall to the bottom of the NFC East, because they have Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, like we mentioned, just retired. I think there's another guy on that line that's gonna retire soon. I mean, and
then you just gotta talk about your normal 30% turnover every year of the roster. So I mean
that, and possibly Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Sirianni's talking a lot of shit this year. There's people that are saying the curse started when he beat the Chiefs and then was going through the tunnel talking shit to the Chiefs fans. So
I'm glad you brought this up. Thank you.
There was that. There was in Indianapolis when he won, and then he said that shit was for Frank Reich to the fans.
Yep.
He runs his mouth a lot, and then you have a decline like he just did, and now people are like, he's probably going to get fired. We'll see what happens.
Fans are throwing popcorn at him.
Yeah, that fan launch fan. Then that guy got in trouble. I was like, why you get just popcorn, man?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Whatever.
But
Yeah.
Ugh, fuck.
It's all right. I think he deserves it. Hopefully this will humble Nick Sirianni. It is sad to see Jason Kelsey go. He's a good dude. But, yeah, I think we're going to be looking at a way different Eagles team next year.
Yeah, especially if they end up firing Sirianni, and who knows who's going to wind up there. Because I do see, Jalen Hurts as being, an enticing prospect to go and coach, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I just think that he needs to get that dog in him. I think what we were talking about today with like Dallas Goedert kind of like getting on him, I think he was trying to, I could be wrong about this, I'm sure we'll get when the mic'd up comes out and stuff like that, but it just seemed like he was trying to get Jalen over there to rally the troops and get some fire under
he was
the
just sitting there like
quiet. Not, it didn't
even when he yelled at him, he was just like,
didn't even acknowledge it. I mean, you're getting your ass beat. You would think you'd be upset. It doesn't look like he's bothered at all.
Well, personal experience in terms of the Broncos is a lot of guys had issues with that with Russell. It's like, dude, get fucking angry, man. Like,
that's why I couldn't stand when people,
show some emotion, show
when
some
they
passion.
got so pissed, they're like, oh my God, Patrick's throwing a temper tantrum. He's a crybaby and shit like that. It's like, no, he's mad that his wide receivers can't catch the fucking ball. Yeah. I would much rather have a quarterback over there slamming his helmet or getting mad rather than one that just sits there like Jalen Hurts, like, okay, I just got paid a lot of money. All I need to do is just get home and I'm going to use that money.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb. Like, these guys should be competitors. That's what I love. I will always say Michael Jordan's the GOAT because, not a lot of his teammates liked him. But they loved winning.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to just deal with an asshole.
Exactly.
As long as you keep winning, every you can be however you want.
Case in point, guys.
Yeah, indeed. Well, that's it for the NFL deep dive of the Super Wildcard Weekend. So that does it.
Yep.
We're moving into the divisional round, and one more time we'll give you a quick rundown of the schedule for this week.
Let's do it.
So Saturday we have Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens at 2:30 our time, 4:30 Eastern Standard. Saturday night you have the Packers versus the 49ers. Then the early game on Sunday is the Buccaneers versus the Lions, and the late game is the Chiefs versus the Bills. So here we go. It's getting down to the wire.
It's good, man. Divisional round's my favorite round.
It is the best.
Some good games.
Best games.
That was the game. The 13th game with the Bills was a divisional game.
Yep. So
I think we're gonna get another classic.
Everybody is saying like the most serendipitous thing would be for it to go to overtime. The Bills score the first drive, and then since they bitched, and now both teams get the ball. Chiefs go down, score, get the 2-point conversion, and win the game.
I would lose my shit, man. I would lose my shit. Oh, my God.
All right,
great.
We have reached the end, and that means it is time for the Daily Dose of Excellence. So we are going to let the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Daly, grip it and rip it and hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, live it large. I hit it hard.
That is right. We hit it hard each and every week right here on Fringe Fanatics, and each and every week at the end of the show, we like to focus on something or someone or maybe an entity or a group of people like it is this week that goes and shows some excellence. And this week, Chad's going to sit this one out as it features the Bills Mafia. He doesn't want to...
Just respectfully decline
he doesn't want
giving them their flowers.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give them their flowers, pay them their dues this week, as it is a week they are fighting. Well, they're playing each other, so they're mortal enemies.
Yeah. Regardless, I think it's badass what they did. We're giving them the DDOE because Buffalo was in a state of basically emergency. That's what the governor called it, where they had a travel ban and they weren't able to get the snow out of the stadium, so they asked fans Take it over, Chris.
Oh, sorry, Chad's coughing. Yeah, so as we know, the game was supposed to be Sunday at 11 a.m., but there was a crazy lake effect storm. They were supposed to get like 2 feet of snow during the game. They were planning on playing the game, but they eventually decided that was stupid. They moved the game to Monday, and the game ends up playing, and the field looks pristine.
Yep.
But the reason the field looks pristine and the reason the stands were even remotely able to be sat in was due to Bills Mafia. They were paying people $20 an hour to go and shovel snow.
And tickets to the game.
If you went and shoveled snow, and these guys did from Sunday night all the way through Monday in the afternoon. We posted on our story 40 minutes before the game, 40 minutes before kickoff. People are still out there digging out seats, trying to clear the pathways. Most people wound up still sitting in snow. I mean, there was so much snow they couldn't get all of it out. There was people just chilling in big snowpack, big
piles of snow.
Piles of
couldn't
snow.
even really see the seats.
No, you couldn't. And then Bills Mafia is out in the parking lot going crazy. I saw people jumping off of where they piled up all the snow from snow removal, like 10-foot berms onto flaming tables, as Bills Mafia does. They're always known for jumping through tables.
Yep, that's
and
their
they
thing.
Were jumping through flaming tables this week. But this one goes out to Bills Mafia, man. Without them, this game probably wouldn't have happened as quickly as it did, and they just went above and beyond what a lot of people probably would do. I mean, you had guys out there shoveling snow with no shirts on, jumping down the snow conveyor tube and pushing the snow down with their half-naked bodies. So these guys are insane.
Never hear about this, where fans were called in to remove the snow to try to make this happen. I just think, like, regardless of what team it is, that's a dedicated and loyal fan base, and Bills Mafia has always been up there as some of the most loyal fans ever, and we got a great example of that.
Yeah, definitely. So this one goes out to Bills Mafia. You guys are awesome. Chad's going to say you guys suck and he hates you this week. I'll say it for him. I'll save him the breath of saying it, but he hates you guys. But without you guys, we wouldn't have got that game, and it was a great game for Bills as they just hammered the Steelers, who shouldn't have really been there, but they were nonetheless.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. No TJ Watt. That's a way different Steelers team.
Yeah, definitely. But that is going to do it for this episode of Fringe Fanatics. Each and every week, we appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us. As always,
thank you guys.
Subscribe and follow us on all things social
media.
Share
the podcast.
Yeah, share it. Make sure just tell a friend, man. That helps us so much. We need more people on the ground spreading word. So do that for us. We'll greatly appreciate it. Chadley, I love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
We love you guys.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Next week. Toodles!